Do you feel like you've had dealings with the healthcare system that has made you attracted to this case?
I lost two best friends to cancer. I lost another best friend to heart disease. All of them should still be alive. I'm here because all my friends are fucking dead. Now I only have my dogs.
Hey, it's Jordan. I am in Flint, Michigan, East Palestine, Ohio, Tumwa, Iowa. Please support the only independent outlet on the ground covering what the corporate media covers up.
This is Luigi's first court appearance in the federal court case against him. We've been out here covering this, or Status Coup, prior to my being involved, has been covering this since the very beginning, and I have been out here covering it in other capacities. Despite the mainstream coverage of this event, it seems to have become something that is much bigger than a murder case. It is more about the broader exploitative healthcare system that many people feel that they have been subject to. So we are going to be out here talking to protesters.
Well, I'm actually out here because Pam Bundy decided that somebody who killed 23 people in El Paso, Texas, and injured 22 others didn't get the death penalty, but Luigi Mangione, who allegedly shot Brian Thompson, she wants him to get the death penalty. And I think that is patently unfair.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is a highly kind of unusual move, and it seems like they moved fast to do it as well. Normally something...
She's trying to shut down dissent. Sebastian Gorka, who is the counterterrorism czar, said last week, if anybody who was advocating for Kilmer or Abrego Garcia to come back to the United States is a terrorist. They are just trying to shut down dissent, and I am not having it. So I'm not here to decide if Luigi Mangione is guilty or not. I'm just here to say that the fascists need to stop.
Everybody knows why we're here today, because of corporate murder. Corporate murder is also murder. Denying people basic care is murder. Luigi is not a terrorist. He's a symptom of a big problem. He's what many people have wanted to do after being on the phone for hours or watching someone die. Luigi is what so many of us have desperately thought but never did. But why do we all feel this way? Why are so many people dying? Why are so many babies sick? Or, I don't know, in a courtroom with no judge, with no lawyer.
For sure. Is there a personal reason that brought you out for this in particular? Do you feel like you've had dealings with the healthcare system that has made you attracted to this case?
I lost two best friends to cancer. I lost another best friend to heart disease. All of them should still be alive. I'm here because all my friends are fucking dead. Now I only have my dogs.
I'm so sorry to hear that. That it seems to be the story of a lot of people. So a lot of people that I know, Jordan has spoken with at Status Coup, and coverage that I've seen. So many people are out here because, like you, they have personal stories about feeling personally victimized by the healthcare system, and like you, feel like they've lost people unnecessarily, simply because of our healthcare system. So I'm very sorry to hear that.
I wish it was rare. It's not. Everyone you talk to, I bet you have your own personal reasons, because I could see how dedicated you are. And I'm really glad you joined the team. I've been watching. You're doing great. I love it. I've been following Jordan and Status Coup since around the time of Luigi. And the night before Luigi allegedly committed a murder, I was calling my father telling him how depressed I was because no one seems to care. And then I texted him the next afternoon. I'm feeling better.
There's been an effort, it seems like, with mainstream coverage to kind of paint people who are out here as, you know, either Luigi fangirls, they're here because they think he's hot, or, you know, just people who are misguided and are in support of generally murder.
Well, if you watch Fox News, yeah. If you watch Fox News, that's the dialogue. That's what they'll tell you. They never showed you Brian Thompson's mugshot. They didn't, you know, tell you about the terrible people suffering under his watch. They don't tell you about any of that stuff.
Guys, one more coming.
I know Luigi possibly did something. but he's not a terrorist. He doesn't deserve to be killed. And due process for everybody, especially our president and Musk. Due process for everybody as soon as possible. Due process for everybody. Everybody. As soon as possible. I also know Rikers pretty well. Why do people got to wait a long time in Rikers to be heard, even if they're innocent? If Steve Bannon's getting scared, that's good. That was a good story.
Yes, Jordan covered Steve Bannon yesterday, and his kind of, oh, thank you so much. We really appreciate it. We're trying our best. We're out here. It's an important story because clearly from everyone that we've spoken with, it is abundantly clear that this is about far more than just, Luigi Mangione's alleged murder of Brian Thompson. It is about the healthcare system and people feeling victimized by a predatory healthcare system under capitalism and not just a murder case. Because as other people have noted, if this were just a case between someone on the street who had killed someone else, nobody would be here, and there wouldn't be any expedited death penalty charges. It seems apparent that the person who was murdered here has a lot to do with how this case is actually unfolding.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and it's not like we're all saying, yeah, you should let him go play in the park. We're not saying that. We're not saying, oh, he should get off scot-free, but we're just saying, we live in America, due process, give him what he's deserved, what he deserves. But they already ruined it with our, stellar mayor who just thought, oh, anybody put on eyeliner for that? Have you met him?
I have not.
He has no charisma. That guy is like being next to a mannequin, okay? I met him at Rikers. He has no charisma at all. That's the problem. Everybody's corrupt. What? They're constantly talking about who they get in trouble for all these terrible, terrible things every day. But the accountability is just, how rich are you? Because, we'll just give you a fine if you're very rich instead of jail time. If rich people actually went behind bars, things would change.
For sure. I mean, there does seem to be a very palpable class component to this whole case.
Yeah, you remember the monkey experiments when they would give monkeys grapes for something and then they'd stop giving one monkey the grapes for the same task? Even a monkey could understand fair. It's not a big civilized fancy thing. Even birds. You try it with your dogs or cats. Give one treats and not the other one. Every animal understands what's fair. And we wouldn't be here if we were even close to fair.
Absolutely. Do you have any other thoughts about this case, the way it's been covered, the healthcare system in general?
Support Trump. RICO charges for all the oligarchs. Let's get our money back. They owe us a lot of money. And they shouldn't be allowed back in this country after the way they've tried to destroy it, but they won't. The revolution, we don't get to choose when it happens, but it's here.
We don't advocate shooting CEOs, but we don't regard it as a criminal act because the CEO was responsible for the deaths of how many people, we don't know, just by denying them medical care. But that's not going to get you medical care by shooting the CEO, even if you could shoot all of them. So that's why we say it was counterproductive. But on the other hand, Luigi was attempting to strike a blow for free health care for everybody. So, he's on our side in that sense, that we don't support him being victimized, jailed, or murdered by the state. We want to free him because he's like a freedom fighter. He took the wrong strategy, but we have to defend the people that are trying to make things better. So the group that, I'm just a sympathizer, but the group that wrote this sign is called Spartacus League. I'm not an official spokesman, just be aware of that. I'm just a sympathizer. But.
Sure, yeah. We're just looking to talk to, everyday people who decided to come out, because clearly it's an important issue to you. And what I'm kind of hearing from you and from other people is that this is, again, like you said, more than just about a murder case. It's about the entire system.
Absolutely true. And, of course, it's obvious when you see the reaction that happened when he shot the guy and they knew why it was that he did that. I'm assuming he did it.
Allegedly.
What?
Alleged shooter.
Yeah. So you saw the support here because so many people have been denied and died from the lack of health care, have been crippled. We don't even have statistics on how many people died. So yes, it's not just about this one person. It's about the issue of the capitalist health care, which needs to be done away with. We think we should nationalize the health care industry without compensation to the owners and have free health care. We also are socialists. Okay, we think that the reason all these bad things are happening, whether it's the health care, whether it's all the Trump stuff that he's doing, is because that's how capitalism works. Capitalism necessarily leads to all kinds of bad things: recessions, depressions, war, deportations. And so we think that you need a planned economy to take the means of production out of the hands of the people who own it now, which is the big capitalists, and have it administered by a workers' government, which according to a plan. And to do that, you need a revolution because the government is totally controlled by the capitalists, and we have no illusions that you could vote something like that into office, even though we might run an election, but we know we're not going to win that way. So you need a revolution, and you need a revolutionary party to lead a revolution. And that's what Lenin did in Russia. That's the only successful workers' revolution so far in human history. But that's the kind of party that the Spartacist League is trying to build. And, it's part of the International Communist League, too. It has to be international as well as, just the United States. So
absolutely. I mean, that is all great. I guess I would also ask what you think about the sort of expedited timeline for seeking the death penalty in this case. Do you think that has something to do with who was allegedly murdered by Luigi Mangione?
Who was what?
Who was allegedly murdered by Luigi Mangione?
Oh, well, of course, obviously. I mean, if he just shot somebody in a mugging attempt, then none of this would be happening. Yeah. Well, first of all, we're totally against the death penalty. Honestly, I didn't know about the expedited timeline, although I'm not surprised.
Normally it would take about a year to review a case like this and make this kind of recommendation. In this case, it's taken them about 3 months.
Right. Well, of course we're against that, as we are against the death penalty, whether it's expedited or not. I mean, Trump clearly is trying to suppress dissent and just be a one-man authoritarian rule on behalf of the capitalist class. It's not just Trump by himself. He's defending capitalist interests. And they can't tolerate, democracy anymore.
This case is being speedrun in an unprecedented manner where you have multiple cases running simultaneously, and one of them is a death penalty case. So you have a capital case that's being speedrun, which we don't do that. We don't do that here. We don't do that in America. We don't do that with our justice system. We don't speed run justice. That's it.
So are you a Luigi Mangione supporter?
I'm a supporter of the justice system being done in a fair manner.